Hi, my name is Martin for Bax Music and welcome to 1960, the year that Fender officially released the jazz bass to the masses. 2 weeks back we made a video kind of similar to this about the Fender Precision bass. But in this video I got the absolute privilege of telling you more about these beautiful instruments. Let's go! At the end of the 50s, Fender already released 4 extremely influential and legendary musical instruments in the form of the Telecaster, Stratocaster and Jazzmaster when it comes to the electric guitar, and of course, as we talked about a couple of weeks back, the Fender Precision bass. But now we've got the jazz bass, and this one is also destined for fame. For a deeper look into the Precision bass, you can click the link that's appearing somewhere above my head, but of course only after watching this one right here. But it was in 1959 where Leo Fender and his team started development on a new deluxe electric bass guitar. Something that wouldn't compete with the Precision bass, but rather complement and add to it. And something that brings a lot more tonal variety to the table, along with a redesigned body shape for greater comfort and playability. So what does this bass do to become a deluxe model next to the comfort and playability that Leo Fender and his team set out to create? Well, despite the name, the jazz bass isn't merely a bass to play jazz with. It's the perfect accompaniment for a wide variety of genres, from jazz to the heaviest of metal. This brings something to the table in all of the genres in between as well. And that's because of these 2 pickups mounted in the neck and the bridge position, usually featuring 2 pole pieces per string. This opens up an entire new world of tonal variety, where we used to have a single split coil pickup to do all the magic for you. The positioning of these pickups open up a giant landscape of tonal possibilities. And it is the placement of these 2 single coil pickups that create the J-bass sound we all know and love today. The neck pickup gives you a full, warm, bassy sound that is the backbone for many songs. But when many bass players talk about that iconic jazz sound, they're talking about this pickup right here. The bridge position single coil gives a grit, it gives a grunt to the sound that is iconic to this instrument. The bridge pickup is described by Fender as well as being their secret weapon for the jazz bass. And what it does, being in this position, it gives a very present mid-range and a bright top end, which a lot of bass players absolutely fell in love with. The design of the jazz bass also received a facelift. With the success of the Jazzmaster, we can kind of see a couple of elements coming their way into this beautiful instrument. But it's not just there. Also, influences from the Telecaster were taken and implemented into this bass. But I want to talk about one of the main details about the jazz bass design taken directly from the Jazzmaster, and that is the offset waist, forcing the bass slightly away at an angle, just as I'm sitting now, while playing seated, which a lot of serious players at the time used to do. And everything together made this bass slightly bigger and slightly heavier, and that contributes in subtle ways to the tone of this instrument. The neck also received an upgrade as compared to the precision bass. This neck is a lot more thin and more narrow, and this allowed electric guitar players who were interested in electric bass to finally make the switch, because the neck is so comfortable and, due to the smaller size, more familiar. This also allowed for more seasoned bass players to play more faster and complicated lines than ever before. Thanks to this faster and more comfortable neck, a lot of P basses nowadays can also be found with a J-style neck. This proves that the Fender Jazz has found and conquered its place in music history. A luxury instrument with a tone and feel that a lot of bass players, every bass player, needs in their collection. Just like the precision bass, the jazz bass is an iconic fixture in the musical landscape. Pioneers like Jaco Pastorius, Geddy Lee, John Paul Jones, and the list goes on and on and on. And the list continues to grow with names that become legendary because of the Fender J-bass sound. You just heard an excerpt from Marcus Miller's I'll Be There, one of the many pioneers that continue to push the jazz bass into the current day and age. But with modern players, you get modern demands, and you see a lot of active electronics working their way into jazz basses to even further widen the tonal palette that this bass offers. If you're as inspired as me and you now need a jazz bass, well, you're at the right place. We at Bax Music have a jazz bass for every player and every budget, and we'd love to help you find the instrument that is just fit for you. If you want more information about any of the 5 basses featured in this video, you can check them out via the links in the description below. All the information is there for you, so you can read it at your own leisure and maybe find the perfect one for you. And if you did, leave it in the comments below, because we'd love to know if we helped you out in any way, shape or form. Any questions you may have, drop them down there as well. If you want to see a comparison, drop it down there. I'm reading them and I'm more than happy to make it, because I just love playing bass. If you like this video, do leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of these, be sure to subscribe, because we're not stopping. We're going to keep playing bass until I drop. My name is Martin. Hope to see you again on the next one. Bye bye.